All right, Glenn, thank you for that live report. Our team coverage turns now to the potential effects of bullying and how parents can help. Western Mass News reporter Reagan Lokri joins us live in studio after getting answers from a local psychiatrist. Reagan, what can you tell us?
Abby, the Chief of Child Psychiatry at Baystate Medical Center, tells me there are both long-term and short-term effects that can result from bullying, and he advises parents to make sure their children know that they're supported by practicing open communication. Following the allegations of racist bullying against students in Southwick, Western Mass News wanted to get answers on the mental health impact. We took our questions to the Chief of Child Psychiatry at Baystate Medical Center, Dr. Bruce Waslick. We first asked for his reaction to these claims, and he tells us in some ways the situation is surprising. However, he's also not completely shocked to hear it.
When you hear about these things and how people can kind of mistreat each other, we're aware of that happening with kids. And, you hope that everybody's going to treat everybody well and be good citizens and encourage everybody to be on their best behavior. But we know it doesn't happen. And sometimes things cross into the realm of bullying people.
And Dr. Waslick tells us bullying can have both short-term and long-term effects on the victim. Some of those short-term effects include anxiety and depression. He adds it can even lead kids to start acting out, affect their performance in school, along with the way in which they interact with friends and family. As for long-term effects, Dr. Waslick explains that some victims of bullying can even develop post-traumatic stress disorder, which can cause residual effects that linger into adulthood. Dr. Waslick tells us one thing he finds can be particularly difficult for parents is that some of the bullying happens face-to-face, while some of it happens on social media, making it hard to monitor what their kids are experiencing. He says this is why it's extremely important for parents to be aware of the dark side of social media, along with maintaining a good relationship with their kids by practicing open communication.
Try to spend time with your kid on a regular basis. Make sure you let them know that you're open to discussing anything that's going on, whether it's positive or negative.
This is especially important as kids start to go through adolescence and take on more and more things independently. Western Mass News also wanted to know what parents should do if they suspect their child may be the one doing the bullying. Dr. Waslick says to look out for certain tendencies, such as any type of physical bullying, picking on people, or getting complaints from the school that their child was involved in a bullying incident, whether that be physical, emotional, verbal, or cyberbullying. But where do these behaviors stem from?
I think sometimes it can start at home, but I think also it can be part of a culture in a particular institution. Like if there's a lot of bullying going on at school, there might be no bullying going on at home and no models for that, but they're seeing a lot of it at schools.
Dr. Waslick adds that kids, especially those around 13 or 14 years old, can be extremely vulnerable to the influence of their peers and the environment around them. He also emphasizes that bullying cuts both ways and is never good for anyone's mental health, whether you're the victim or the bully. And it's important both sides are heard in order to prevent future bullying.
And, we used to think, well, there are bullies and there are people who are bullied, but it's actually much more complicated than that. Sometimes the kids who are doing some of the bullying have been bullied themselves at some other point, so it's a very complicated situation.
If you do notice any red flags or suspect your child may be bullying one of their peers, Dr. Waslick suggests contacting their primary care provider for an assessment. And if you suspect your child may be a victim, head to our website, westernmassnews.com, for a link to resources. Reporting live in studio, Reagan Lokri for Western Mass.